Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS, who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is As Birds Flying, So Will the Lord Yahweh of Hosts Defend Jerusalem. Right, and this is talking about the Israelites here in these last days. Right, and this precept was on my mind. Isaiah 31:5, it says, As birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Right? I mean, that's pretty much the point. When it's all said and done, what's going to happen? As we get towards this end, Isaiah 14. It says, Isaiah 14:1, For the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right. So this is talking about basically all the tribes, but now in this time the elect, the ones that know the Israelites and the ones that are still, not knowing, just strangers, pretty much. This is talking about Israelites only. These strangers here is not talking about Esau or the heathens, basically Israelite foreigners, So that's the point. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. This is the point. But before that, all hell has to break loose, right? The signs of the times, complete chaos. We are in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. The scriptures say, and thy wrath, remember mercy. Let me grab that, because that's exactly the day of the Lord is at hand. So Habakkuk 3 and 2. Let's go over there. It says Yahweh's deliverance of his people. Habakkuk 3:1, a prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Signal. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known, and wrath remember mercy. Where's it in NLT? It says, I have heard all about you, Lord. I am filled with awe by your amazing works. In this time of our deep need, help us again as you did in years gone by. And in your anger, remember your mercy. Let me see. Another scripture came to mind. All right, so I can't find it. A burning wrath. Hold on. Probably this. Let me check the scripture out real quick. I mean, I'll grab it. It's not what I was looking for, but I'll grab it. Let me see. Psalms 106 and 40. It says, Psalms 106 and 40, therefore was the wrath of the Lord Yahweh kindled against his people, and so much that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. So I mean, that's the point. The Most High was, so upset with us that he gave us over to our enemies. And basically now that judgment is still being passed on us. And that's why, I said earlier that we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. And the Lord is about to do, basically the completion of the judgment, which is the day of Jacob's, let me grab it, the day of Jacob's trouble. But then I'll get back to this precept I was thinking about, Jeremiah 30. It says Jeremiah 30 and 4, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's the point. That's kind of getting back to, what I originally started with in Isaiah 31, because the day of Jacob's trouble is at hand. That's why you see what you see now regarding the ICE and President Donald Trump, sending his, basically his troops, to round up the northern tribes, and, ship them off to wherever they're trying to ship them off. And now there's talks of concentration camps, right? Things that the elder apostles and the men of the Lord have been saying for years would come, and now it's here, so. And once these things start to take place and happen, the plagues are gonna be sent, and they're not gonna be slack, right? And they're gonna be happening one after the other. And Trump has been in office, and so far since he's been in there, just like that new Kendrick Lamar. I haven't listened to it, but the one part that's pretty famous, beam bop, beam boom boom, this type of shit I be on, right? So Trump is on that, right? And the Most High is on that too, sending these plagues, and they're not gonna be slack. So, there's no stopping what's happening. Basically, Yahweh Shai said that he's coming to send a fire on earth, and he wish it was, already burning. So basically these things are going to be heating up quickly. So, and rap, remember mercy, which we grab in Habakkuk. Read it already. Right, I'll read it again, Habakkuk 3 and 2. O Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known, and wrath, remember mercy. So, just like the Most High delivered us before, we're asking for him to deliver us again. And he will, for the hopeful elect. Isaiah 31 and 5, it says, as birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai of hosts, defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over it, he will preserve it. Right? So I'll just start from the top. It says, help not in Egypt, but in Yahweh. And this goes in line with kind of what's been happening and what's been coming out through the spirit regarding these agents, and Lord willing, soon, they're revealed who they truly are, whether it be now or the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID chip that the banking elites, the rulers of the world will try to put in you to make you a perpetual slave to them, right? And that's mentioned in Revelations 13 and 16, right? That's the mark of the beast, the MOTB. You can search up the RFID chip. So anyway, it says, help not in Egypt, but in Yahweh. So Isaiah 31 and 1, it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And that's the point. And as Esau comes down with his great wrath, pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12, there's different individuals, turning on each other. There's a hotline to rat out your neighbors and basically Northern Tribe. And, it's always the women. I've heard the women are, trying to basically snitch and tell Esau Edom where the Northern Tribe members are and things like that. And that's this so-called black woman, trusting still in Esau Edom and his felon kingdom as it's burning, so And the many other Jakes, that's out here joined unto Esau, Edom, trusting him. The northern tribe, most of them, voted for Trump. And here he go coming through with ICE and rounding them up and all of that, and that's what y'all get, because the prophets and the Lord been warning y'all. It says, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Right. So this goes to Esau, Edom, and the helpers, which is basically 2/3, because only 2/3 are trying to help Esau accomplish anything and his felon kingdom. It says, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth and shall both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fall together. See, the scriptures say that the seed and the deceiver are his, right? Belonging to the Most High Yahweh, right? And they're going to be destroyed together. It says, for thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh shall of hosts, come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. Right. So, the Most High is going to defend us. That's what the scriptures say in Zephaniah 3:8. Wait ye upon me until he rise up to the prey. And, that's exactly what's about to happen. The scriptures also say, when he is about to fill his belly, that's in Job 20, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall, rain down fury upon him, basically. Let me grab that. Job 20. Grab it, go back. It says in Job 20:23, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, right? And once again, Esau is going to be totally destroyed. And we're saying and the Most High's wrath that he remember mercy, because we're going to feel the effect of this, but it's in the scriptures already that we will be protected. The Lord's, the hopeful elect, right? Going to Isaiah 65 around verse 13, So it says, as birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it, right? Because the scriptures say in Revelation 1:7, behold, he coming with clouds, and every eye shall see him, even those that pierced him, right? And that's exactly how he's going to come through with his chariots. When you look up, you see all the birds flying, and sometimes they migrate in the wintertime. There'll be so many of them just filling the skies, And that's exactly how the Lord's going to come back, right? The scriptures say that it's even 20,000. Let me grab that. The chariots, let me see. Let's grab Psalm 68:17. And then also I want to grab the one in 2 Kings. So 2 Kings 6:16. So we'll grab that next. It says Psalm 68:17. It says the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Right, and what does that explain? It says as in Sinai in the holy place. So when Moses went up to Mount Sinai, that was the chariot of the Lord. Right, so these chariots are going to come back and they're going to fill the skies just like birds. And the scriptures here say it's so many of them. Right, so going to 2 Kings 6:16, grab that. All right, so we'll start at Start at 15. 2 Kings 6 and 15, it says, And when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? Right? And Esau, Edom is about to come through just like that. Right? All living hell is about to break forth. Right? Esau is bringing in order out of chaos, just like you see now the planes falling out the skies. And even before they had that movie, Leave the World Behind, or Leave America Behind, one of them. And basically in the scene, you had the planes flying, falling out the sky, so it could have been just that one. Well, I mean, basically all of that's coming, right? Civil unrest and things like that, the collapse of the world, basically to bring in their new order. So, all living hell is coming to pass. It says, so Esau is going to come in like a flood in the midst of this, to try to persecute the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, right? But Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua is going to protect his elect, They're going to come through with chariots, and that's why you got Daniel 12, and I'll grab it real quick. It says Daniel 12 and 1, the time of the end is exactly what we're at, right? It says Daniel 12 and 1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. This is the archangel Michael, right? It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. So, Yahushua's coming through with those chariots, and, he's going to deliver those that's written in the book, which is the hopeful elect. It's in the NLT. It says, at that time, Michael, the archangel, who stands guard over your nation, will arise. Then there will be a time of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. But at that time, every one of your people whose name is written in the book will be rescued, right? And this is what we believe. It's written because it's faithful and it's true. It's 2 Kings. Now I'll go back to it. 2 Kings 6 and 15. It says, and when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and going forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua, pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And that's the point. These are the chariots, right? And they're all about, and they're showing themselves, in the skies now. That's why you have it on the news and things like that. But it's going to come where they're going to be in the skies like birds, spread across the sky, hovering around and doing different things, Lord willing, which is written in scripture that will come to pass. So that's the point. We will have deliverance. It says, turn ye unto him, back in Isaiah 31 and 6, turn ye unto him from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. See, we sinned against the Lord, but, we have returned. The hopeful elect have returned. It says, for in that day, every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for a sin. Then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, and the sword not of a mean man shall devour him, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young man shall be discomforted. Right? So basically, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua is going to bring the destruction to the nuclear missiles, right? So this is the Most High Yahweh is doing, right? This is not of man. We can grab this one right here in the NLT. It says the Assyrians will be destroyed. This is the modern day Babylon the Great, right? The Americans, right? So-called white. It says the Syrians will be destroyed, right? And why do I say that? That's because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is ruling the world. You get Job 9:24. It says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? He covered the faces. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right. So Esau, Edom, through the Renaissance period, rebirth, came back into power, after the fall of the Roman Empire, and built back up America. And he went about defacing the images, whitewashing the images, laid open the book of the law where he sought to paint his likeness, and did all of that. So that's who runs the world, right? And if you complain about anything, who do you go to? You go to the white man, right? And that's a part of the curses too. But anyway, this man is about to be destroyed. It says the Syrians will be destroyed, but not by the swords of men. The sword of Yahweh will strike them, and they will panic and flee. The strong young Assyrians will be taken away as captives. Right. So in the midst of this destruction, the banking elites will be in those bunkers. Right. You get that's going back to Isaiah 14 that I got earlier. You also Psalm 49, Psalms 149. Now it gets straight to the point. It says Psalms 149 and 6, it says, let the high praises of Yahweh be. I started 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. See, the judgment is written right from the Lord. His word does not, come back void. It's gonna accomplish that which he sent it. It says to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Right. So these different devils, banking leads will go into captivity, right? Thus said the Lord. So that's going back to Isaiah 14. Like I said, we were at I don't remember. Oh, it was over here, right? Or Isaiah. So read it again, Isaiah 31:8. Then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, and the sword not of a mean man shall devour him, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young men shall be discomforted. Right? So Isaiah 31:9, it says, and he shall pass over to his stronghold for fear, and his princes shall be afraid for the ensign, said the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, whose fire is in Zion and his furnace in Jerusalem. Right? And what is that ensign? Let me grab a precept right here. Let's grab Isaiah 19, and we'll get around. Let's see. It says message to Egypt, right? This is a message to Babylon the Great. And I'll grab one real quick. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, right? And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? So this swift cloud is a chariot, one of the many chariots. So jumping down a little bit. See if I can grab this NLT. I'm gonna grab Isaiah 19 and 16, but let's grab the NLT. Isaiah 19 and 16, it says, in that day the Egyptians will be as weak as women. They will cower and fear beneath the upraised fist of the Lord of heaven's armies. Right? And what does that begin with? That begins with the great awakening of the Israelites. Right? Terrible fear fell upon them that saw them. Right? That's going to Ezekiel 37 with us awakening, right? The breath being breathed back into us, right? Of us understanding who we are, right? And that's the shaking, because the men of the Lord are now proclaiming what's to come, which is the end, the things spoken against them, written in the scriptures, thus saith the Lord. And this is the thing that they're afraid of. It says Isaiah 19 and 16, in that day the Egyptians will be as weak as women. They will cower and fear beneath the upraised fist of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai of heaven's armies. Just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them, for the Lord of heaven's armies has laid out his plans against them. Exactly. So how did he do that? Through the men of the Lord, right? That's the shaking. That is the ensign. Let me grab this in the NLT. Let me see. It says, even the strongest will quake with terror and princes will flee when they see your battle flag, says the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, whose fire burns in Zion, whose flame ablaze, who flame blazes from Jerusalem. You know, so that's the point. Going over here, we'll read a little bit of this. This is Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof." And it's gonna, explain this a little bit, and I'll get into it. It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him." And what is that going to? That's going to Isaiah 19, like I just read in verse 1. And remember I read it. So it says, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. Right. So this is how Yahushua is coming back. He's coming back with those 20,000s of chariots and thousands of angels, right, to come and beam up and redeem his elect. And I'll grab this scripture too, Matthew 24 and 30. It says the glorious return. It says Matthew 24 and 29, immediately after the tribulations of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. How? What is Isaiah? I believe it's Isaiah 24. Let me see. That goes into the nuclear missiles. All right. Let's see. Isaiah 24. 6. Yeah. Isaiah 24 and 20, it says, "The earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again." And that's going into, these nuclear missiles hitting this place. That's how it's going to roll to and fro. It says, and that's why here it explains that, the things shall be darkened and the stars shall fall from heaven. These are talking about the nuclear missiles. Matthew 24 and 29, it says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken." Right? And that's why the scriptures also say, out of 6 troubles, we shall be saved. Yet in 7, nothing shall touch thee. Let me grab that. It's Job 5 and 19. Because this war is coming. If you paying attention, watching news, things are brewing. Job 5 and 19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yet in 7 there shall no evil touch thee." And that goes back into the 7th trumpet, the 7 vials, the different wraths poured out in the book of Revelations. Right. So the last, trumpet will be the nuclear destruction. So, where was that? Oh, Matthew 24. All right. So Matthew 24 and 29 says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heavens with power and great glory." Right? So Yahushua coming through the chariots with great glory and power. Right? That's why the scriptures say he will not meet thee as a man. And that goes to whoever, because the scriptures also say those that will not let me reign before them, bring hither and slay before me, basically. So Yahushua is coming with great power and glory, and he won't meet nobody as a man when he comes, especially Esau Edom. It says, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other." So that's exactly what's going to happen. right, as birds flying. You know? So going back over here, it says in verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right. So this is talking about Yahweh Shai, and basically that the war is coming. They're going to be fighting World War III over there against Russia and Iran, America and Israel, and the rest of the bands that's joined unto Russia, and whoever else America can muster up as allies. Because most of all his allies will turn on them. Going to Obadiah, the men of his confederacy have turned against him. Basically, I'll grab it. This Obadiah 1:7 says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's none understanding in him. Right? This is talking about Esau, Edom, basically his different allies that he have now. Right? They eat his bread. They share trays and monies and send supplies and things like that. These different individuals have deceive them because they're forming their different alliances behind closed door, because the scriptures point to that. They point to Esau, Edom losing his allies. What is it? Revelations 18 or 17. Revelation 17 and 14, it says these. So it goes into the breaking down. I'll grab Revelation 17 and 12. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Right. So the beast is coming back as America. His beast system, basically. His NATO EU. So America came back to the rebirth, like I mentioned earlier, and they joined unto them vassal states. These vassal states would be the NATO, right? EU and things like that. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no power as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So these vassal states gave their strength and power unto the beast, right? So they submitted to Esau, Edom. But here in the end, in these last days, you can see that they're starting to hate Esau, Edom, and the different decisions that he's making and how he's trying to continue on ruling the world. They're no longer with the philosophy that Esau, Edom has been giving them, the drink that Esau, Edom has poured, into the cup. It says, Revelation 17 and 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? So, and once again, even though these different individuals are going to turn on Esau, Edom, they're going to be joined, like I said, to the bands of Russia, right? And in the midst of World War III, which we're getting to right here in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, is going to come, and they're going to be fighting World War III, and they're going to turn and stop fighting each other and try to fight Yahweh Shai, but they're going to be broken, right, and destroyed. It says in verse 15, it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that goes into the nuclear missiles. That's why the earth will roll to and fro like a drunkard, because of the missiles being shot. Right. So these are the nations that are going to hate Esau, Edom, and that's going to be fighting in World War III when Yahweh Shai returns. This is that piece. That's that multitude of men out of number. Right. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had raised himself a great mountain and flew upon it. This great mountain is a fathership or father chariot, right? It's a gigantic chariot that Yahweh Shai is going to come in And basically that's the chariot that we're gonna be in, after Yahushua's coming, he saves us. We're gonna be in that fathership. It says, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to do him were so afraid, and yet thirst fight. Right? So that they're going to be afraid, but they're still going to fight. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor his sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Right. So these chariots are going to be able to shoot fire beams, and we have already seen it. If you haven't seen it, you can search it up. Maybe search on YouTube or something like that. Orb shoots drone, or whatever the case may be, because that's what they're calling. They're calling the chariots of the Lord orbs here in this time, because the people lack understanding of what's actually happening. Right. Because Esau, Edom, the so-called illuminated ones, the bearers of light, have hidden the truth from the world, right? But the truth now is coming out, in the end. So you can search it up and you'll see that these chariots are shooting out these fire beams at different things. And it's only going to intensify when Yahushua comes. It says in verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. It says, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And afterwards, so Yahushua is coming, he's going to destroy them, right, and beam us up. And afterward, I saw the same man, come down from the mountain and called unto him another peaceable multitude. All right, this peaceable multitude is the hopeful elect, right? Men, women, and children, And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. And basically this goes into, the elect. Some people still, kind of servitude to others. Some are happy, some are going to be sad, because everyone's going to be raised up, some to everlasting contempt and sorrow and shame, and, some to gladness. Let me see if I can grab that. Yeah, this is, I'll read it right here. That was actually Daniel 12:2. It says, Daniel 12:2, and many of those whose bodies lie dead and buried will rise up, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting disgrace. And that's because the second death, which is those nuclear missiles, are going to get them, And basically, that's why I got in Job that he shall save us in 6 troubles, says Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yet in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. And this goes into the hopeful elect. Right, but some people are going to get touched by the second death. All right, so and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awake and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceive in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. It says, now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them and to those that are left behind. Therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. Yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud of the world, and not to see the things that happen in the last days. And he answered unto me and said, so the interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. Once again, so let me grab this. Isaiah 65 and 13. I'll start at 12. Isaiah 65 and 12. Matter of fact, I'll start at 11. Isaiah 65 and 11, it says, But ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number, right? So this is basically going into, the different idols, some coming to Esau, Edom. NLT, because the rest of you have forsaken the Lord and have forgotten his temple, and because you have prepared feasts to honor the God of fate, and have offered mixed wine to the God of destiny, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. It says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And that's the point. Basically, the servant shall eat, but, which is the elect, the rest, will not. And they're going to explain that. It says the verse 21, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 21, it says the interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required, whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind. This is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty. Right. So in this time, as Jacob trouble, becomes upon us, we're going to be tested. It says, know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom Yahweh the highest have kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. That's the point, coming down, beaming up the elect, that's Yahushai. And that thinks I believe it's Isaiah 63, ordering his creature. Hold on. Let's see Isaiah 63. And one, it says, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garment like him that treadeth in the wine fat? It says, Yahushai, I have trodden down the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. It says, For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come. I mean, that's the point, Yahushua is going to come through, and he's going to do it. He's going to come through and destroy and redeem us and help us and save us, with the mighty angels and himself, of course. That's why the scripture says, Zephaniah 3 and 8, wait me upon him, and we'll just end it off on that. Oh, matter of fact, let me continue. It says, And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Right, and that's pretty much the point. Yahushua is coming to do what he's going to do, and we're going to wait on him to do that. So let me grab, I'll say it in NLT. Isaiah 63 and 1, it says, Who is this who comes from Edom, from the city of Basra, with his clothing stained red? Who is this in royal robes, marching in his great strength? It is I, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, announcing your salvation. It is I, the Lord, who has the power to save. Why are your clothes so red, as if you have been treading out grapes. I have been treading the winepress alone. No one was there to help me. In my anger, I have trampled my enemies as if they were grapes. In my fury have I trampled my foes. Their blood has stained my clothes. It says, for the time has come for me to revenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors. It says, I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed. So I myself stepped in to save them with my strong arm, and my wrath sustained me. I crushed the nations in my anger and made them stagger and fall to the ground, spilling their blood upon the earth, right? And that's exactly what Yahweh Shai is coming to do, right? And he's coming through with the many angels, right? As birds flying, you know? So we grab Zephaniah 3 and 8, and then, that'll be the lesson. And Lord willing, you were edified from the lesson, and, it encouraged you, to hope on the Lord, lean on the Lord, and just wait on him. Zephaniah 3 and 8, it says, therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, unto the day that I rise up to pray. For my determination is to gather nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, and to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So that's what Yahweh Shai is coming to do, coming to protect, and lead us and guide us, So with that, I'll say shalom. So for elect, which consists of men, women, and children, shalom.